Good morning, everyone. This is going to be a quick video. Yes, it is. Well, the election is over. Pennsylvania delivered uh, the deciding votes that had them to declare Biden the winner. He's Biden and Harris are our next president and vice president. But okay, we're happy and we're joyful, but guess what? The work is just beginning. Now, the hard part, they're in office, but the hard part is what we got to do. We have to, we, we, blacks, Hispanics, and other minorities delivered the White House to the Democrats. But now we have to stand and let them know black votes count, because black folks did it in Georgia. Biden Harris won Georgia, which is a Republican state. They won Georgia. So guess what? They we our votes, the black vote is a powerful voting bloc. You see that when we get out and vote, we can put the people in who have our best interests. If we put Biden Harris in, and in 4 years, if that ticket don't work, we can get out there and put somebody else in. We must demand from the the party that we voted for, which is the Democratic Party, demand that they give us what our communities need. And not only, and they say the presidential election is the most important election, which is basically not true. We need to put that energy into the primaries because I'll be honest, I have never voted in a primary election, but I understand it by all of this, what was going on, and people really got out and people really explained what we were up against in this fight against Donald Trump. And and we need to not give our vote away as black people, as a block, as a voting block. We need to demand that these people in power and in these offices give our communities, the black communities, the things that we need. And we need to start with the municipal government and need to vote in primaries. People of color, black people, should come out in droves like they came out to defeat Donald Trump, because that was what the win was about, because there was a lot of people, including myself, that wasn't pleased with the Biden Harris ticket, and it's eventually going to be President Harris, because I'm not wishing death on Joe Biden, but he's an older man and anything's possible. I don't think he'll do the full 4 years, not because he's gonna die, because I don't wish death on anyone, but because he is going to be sick. He may get sick, and I'm hoping he doesn't do that. Excuse me. But anyway, whatever he does, whatever happens, she may become the first woman president and a black woman. And if that happens, all hell broke loose, cause as it is, we ain't seen nothing yet. Do you really think them devils that Trump brought out the closet is gonna let this go? A black woman second in charge, a old man who they probably think they can bully, cause they try to bully bad, but they try to bully young boys, so you know they're gonna try to bully him, bully Joe Biden. But anyway, do you really think that they, these Trump people are gonna be happy with Kamala being in the second highest command in the country? Some people say she ain't black, she ain't American. She was born here, she black. Because the old rule is an ounce of black blood makes you black. You're not considered white because your blood is contaminated. Her blood is contaminated with a black man's blood. So she's black. She was born here, and as far as I'm concerned, she's a black American. But getting back to the topic at hand, our vote, the black vote, should not be for sale for nothing. It should not be given away. We should get together and demand that we get the proper funding for our schools. And by that, the way to do that is to go out and vote in municipal elections, go out and vote in the primaries, because there is so much that we don't do. But when we get together, you see what we can do politically. We should be far ahead in our game. And Diddy has a new party out called our Black Party, which is not really gonna, from what I've read, and I've got to read more on it, it's not gonna have an affiliation. We're gonna try to put it's gonna try to put the best people in who have our agenda, the black agenda, who work for us. Because as you see, the what happened with Trump, they voted their agenda, and you see what it got us, and see what it almost got us. Because had Trump gotten another 4 years, and this was made very clear, we would have been back back on slavery, back on picking cotton, back on whatever it is they used to do back then. He was gonna have us, and he was gonna have us hanging from trees. And it wasn't just the men, it was the women too. So this is a wake-up call. Biden Harris is in until 2024. So now we need to get together with credible, credible black leaders, not no Little Wayne and not no 50 Cent, because getting 50 Cent in, because he got mental health issues too. We know Donald Trump got mental health issues, and putting, even though Kanye is black, he got some mental health issues. That boy ain't been right since his mama died. Or maybe he was always that way, but his mama kept him in line. He ain't got no brothers and sisters and got all them kids. He need to concentrate on them kids. But anyway, the young man is here. And definitely, Little Wayne, he need to go sit his butt down somewhere, because he ain't representing no black people, not the ones I know anyway. Little Wayne he's a joke. He need to sit his behind down. I don't get these black rappers. I'm going for Donald Trump because you got a little bit of money. In the end, you're still black. When the money going, you're still black. You're still a nigga. So that's another party. And that's another thing, too. We have to go out and get our young people and get rid of this Candace Owens. If y'all don't know who she is, Google her name and you'll see what a mess she is. What a mess she is. She has she calls herself having a political party. You just have to read it. Google Candace Owens and Candace Owens, and she's on Twitter as the real Candace Owens. And Google her and go in there. You'll see. We need to get people, credible black people, leaders that have the black community in mind, to show them, to get our children, because this Google Candace, CandaceOwens. She's a grifter. She the far right is grooming her, thinking that she's gonna be president in 2024. Okay, but anyway, Google her. We need to get those type of black peoples out of our, away from our children, and we should encourage our young children who go to college to go to black hist- HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. Kamala Harris is a product of Howard University, which is an HBCU. It's a historically black college. So this is where our dollars, if we send our children to school, we should send our children, spend our money at the black colleges where they will teach our children, prepare our children to come out into a world. Because when I was in school, I hated to have a black teacher because black teachers were hard. They gave you no break. But I understand it being an adult myself. I understand what they were doing. They were preparing us to go into a racist world for us to succeed and become somebody. So our work is not over, black people. It's not over at all. Harris and Biden are going to be in office. You got, hopefully, in Georgia, Georgia will deliver 2 Senate seats to the Democrats, and they will get um, control of the Senate. They will have control of the Senate and the House because Mr. McConnell, I don't understand the people of Kentucky. Kentucky is classified as one of the poorest states in America. Okay, not city. It's the state, one of the poorest state. I think it's only second to Arkansas. I might be wrong on that, but Arkansas is another one. These people voted Mitch McConnell back in again. But as people, as I've said before, it is not over. It's not over for us. The work is only beginning. We came out, we voted, we showed them black women, us black women, black men and black women had the power to do what we did. Now we need to make it work for us, make it work for our communities, make Betsy DeVos, get rid of her because she's defunding public school education to put it into private and charter schools. If there's a charter school, demand that, look and see what it's teaching. But public schools do not need to be defunded. They need to be given more money. Our communities need to be better run. We need to get rid of corrupt municipal governments in our cities. Let's take our cities back like we took the White House back. Let's get out and vote for things that are beneficial to the black communities, our black communities. We need that. So let's do it. We did it. We got rid of Trump. That was the basic thing. But now Trump is gone. We still have to put that energy into voting. This is the new civil rights era. I was too young in the civil rights era of the 60s to join, and I'm too old to get out and walk in the street. But I can encourage people and report on things that need to be, that I see that they're trying to do harm to the black community. We got some black folks, they got the skin, but they sure ain't our kin because they don't have no contact with them. They jumping on the bandwagon. Candace Owen and Officer Tatum and his LLC. They need to go. We need to get those cancers out of the black community also. We need to hold Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, hold their feet to the fire with these people, whether they black, brown, purple, green, whatever color they are, for putting up this racist stuff, repeating stuff that makes absolutely no sense. Okay? Detrimental. And Candace Owens, she definitely needs to go because what she does is goes and gets, like, excuse me, I'll use George Floyd's experience. She went and got his old record and put up why she doesn't support George Floyd. She panders to the white racist, white supremacists, racist Americans. They love her. They pushing for her to be our first black woman, our first woman president. Please pass me by. Check her out, y'all. Check Candace Owens, CANDACEOWNES. Check her out. As blacks, we need to rid our communities of these types of people. They're a hindrance to us. So that's all I'm going to say on that subject. But we need to get, we need to, like I said, we got 2.5 more months of Trump, and let's keep an eye on him and watch the evilness he's going to do, because he ain't going to go without a fight. He already done said it. The Army has even made plans. Some vets, I don't know whether they're active military or what, but they planning on going to get him. And if I could, I'd go get him myself, because he's got to go. And that 2.5 months, this man can do some damage in 2.5 months. Do you hear what I'm telling you? So the fight ain't over. It's just beginning. And God willing, just like they got the White House out of his hands, they'll get the Senate out of them Republicans' hands, and then we can demand the things that we need for our community. And people talking about a revolution. First of all, we're not in a position to have a revolution now. It takes progress. We got to build our communities back, build strong bonds, build, get our schools right, get our children educated, get the proper education that we used to have. You have to build. There's going to be a revolution, but it's not going to be right now. We're not ready for it. And reparations, we ain't never going to get the money reparations that we should get. So the way I want my part of the reparations is, I want money to be put into our school systems in our communities and black communities. Give our children the stuff, my grandchildren and my great grandchildren to come. Give them give the schools money to to you know to operate for them. We need money. Fund our schools. And if it comes down to it, homeschool your children. Some of us can do it. A lot of us can't. Some of us can and some of us can't. It takes it is trying to teach children. It's very trying to teach children. But we need but this is what we need to do. Put our children, everybody can't afford to send their children to a private school, pay for their children to go to school. And those children get left behind, and that's not fair when we have a public school system that everybody who works pays into that system. So this is what we have to do. We have to demand things for our community and start there. Start from the bottom and come up. Oh, and there's a black militia, the NFAC, which stands for the Not Fucking Around Coalition. Black people, we have Second Amendment rights also. If you don't have a felony record, go get your gun legally. Because just like they can get guns, we can get them too. But, it's so much. But we need to start at municipal governments and everything. I got so much planned, but I haven't been feeling that well lately, so I just do these short little videos. But I'm getting back into it because there's so much. We got one thing down and a million more things to go in the black community. So let's do this. Let's keep an eye on Donald Trump because we got 2.5 more months of his craziness. I don't see he twittered nothing, and he ain't fake news or nothing, but I don't underestimate him, because that 2.5 months he can make hell here on earth, for everybody. So, you know, it's over. Now the real work begins, because we got to stand and hold these people to the ground, because they ain't going to give us nothing. As black people, they ain't going to give us a darn thing. And everybody might as well get used to it.